This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Going into a game this week against a Big Ten offensive line, how much more difficult is it going to be going against some guys that are a little bit bigger than you, and how do you go against a line like that?
Like I said, it's a mentality. Like, we're going to get after whoever is in front of us. So really, the mentality this week is to just get after the quarterback, be very aggressive. I mean, it doesn't matter who we go against. You're going to get the same intensity we always give. So,
you guys are favored going into this game. Do you feel like favorites and not underdogs?
Honestly, it really don't matter to me. Underdog or favorite, you're still going to get the same intensity from us. So.
Yeah, you're starting to get the similar amount of playing time this year that you had as a freshman. That playing time kind of decreased last year. You feel the role that you have this year as a sophomore, as an edge rusher coming in on third downs, helps you out and gets you a little bit more rhythm?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I've been really getting after it in practice recently, and that's really how I've been able to contribute to this team, getting more reps during games, and that's what I'm going to continue to do throughout this week and see what takes us there.
I believe it was the Troy game last year where you had, I believe, 2 sacks as well. Was Maine similar to that one where you were able to get consistent pressure?
Very similar, yes, sir. I say the difference between this one is that I was able to get a lot of pressure on runs as well, besides the pressure last year in pass rushes. So I was glad I was able to contribute to that.
How have you evolved as a defensive end in this scheme with Coach Aldridge? We've seen he make strides with Ralph's inside, Jesse, Trayshawn, Austin on the edges. How have you evolved in this defense?
Really, me, I've been he puts us in position to make all of us across the board to make a lot of plays individually. And me, he sets me up very well. He calls great calls. Just lets me get after it, helps me get off the edge without even thinking, just letting me play free. That's pretty much it.
How happy are you with your role after a freshman year where you were seeing a lot of snaps with the defensive line kind of decimated as it was? Are you happy with the role that you have where you're consistently getting in and you're being counted on to be able to provide pressure in both run and pass?
I'm proud of it, and I'm glad I'm able to contribute to this team. And whatever role Coach Aldridge wants me in, I'm ready to get after it, whatever he says.
Kind of go back to that. I mean, did it, after your freshman year getting so much playing time, did it kind of get a little bit harder maybe your the second year and have to realize maybe, hey, I got to work a little bit harder to kind of keep my spot out there?
Oh, yes, sir, no doubt. I can definitely say around my sophomore year, it was a time of adversity for me. And in my mindset, I was like, I need to step it up. And I was glad I just kept praying, and look at me now. So.
When Coach Aldridge came in, was that a key turning point for you too in that adversity?
Oh, yes, sir.
In a good way,
Yes, sir. It was definitely in a good way. It was a good way for me to try to adapt to this new coaching staff to see what they want. And, going throughout the spring and the fall, I was adapting to them very well, and I just kept being consistent. So.
By that time, were you determined to make a good impression on them?
No doubt. Had to. It was my only choice. So.
Last thing from me, coming into this game, I mean, what would a win over a Rutgers team, as much as they're struggling this year, still a Big Ten team, I mean, what would a win mean for this team?
It would be a really big win for us. It would definitely build our confidence, and it'll just, like I said, it'll build our confidence, and it'll make us get after it even more throughout the rest of the season.
You mentioned during your sophomore year there was a time of adversity. Was there a point during that season where you knew you had to turn the corner before Coach Gill retired from coaching and then the staff got replaced by a new one?
Yes, definitely during that time. It was definitely the Troy game during my sophomore year, and from that point on, I needed to do things differently throughout the rest of the season. And I had multiple sources to go to, and they really helped me get up to this point.
What were some things that you did change, that if you're comfortable talking about it, of changing to make sure you're in position to become the player that you are now?
One of them is actually watching more film and also gaining more weight as I am right now, and just being consistent off the field as well. And so that's what really got me here.
Listed at 210 on the roster. Where are you at weight-wise now?
I'm 225.
Was the added weight good for you to still be able to go against these bigger tackles and also still run a 4.5 with good twitch?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I've also gotten a lot stronger compared to freshman and sophomore year. And being around 225 and 230, I was able to still be quick twitch and stronger getting off the ball as well. And I'd say that played a huge factor. So.
You mentioned confidence. How confident is this team right now and the chance to win 6 in a row? How big of a deal is that?
Confidence is here, and we're going to always be confident going into every game that we're going to win, and we're going to take the field with the mentality that we're going to get after them no matter who's in front of us.